beverage or anything.
I'm so prepared.
Fired.
You're gonna be so thirsty.
Firing myself.
Okay.
Actually,
We need you.
no. To punish you, we'll give you more work.
That's actually unacceptable. We're dumb.
I believe in you.
Whatever. He loves this freaking podcast.
Hello.
Hey guys, welcome. I'm Abby.
And I'm Shawna.
And this is Anxious.
And Afraid. The podcast.
Yes, with Michael, who is here.
Yeah, present. Are we doing roll call now? Is that a
We
thing?
should. We're all present.
You should be happy because you have an easy name for roll call. It probably never got messed up.
No.
But there was like 27 Michaels
There
in one
were.
class.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
It's always Michael and the first letter of your last name, always. Michael B, Michael W, shout out. Michael R, Michael
Shout
S,
out.
what up? Hey, guys.
They know who they are. Anyways,
we're back.
and you're back listening because
Yeah.
you love this.
You return, even though our release schedule these days is a roller coaster. But
Yeah.
we're still making content. Here we are.
Apologies.
Life is just crazy with everything and kids.
With toddlers in life.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
it is. We still work full time and
Try and hang out. Try to do play dates.
yeah,
Try and clean. Try and do laundry.
never ending laundry. But no one wants to hear about our laundry. Shawna,
Yes.
what made you anxious or afraid within the last month?
A lot. I mean, I've been the one, unfortunately, prolonging and procrastinating this recording, unfortunately, because my body has not agreed with me and gotten sick. I've had migraines and,
Your
I'm
whole
just-
family got sick.
Yeah. Having a toddler makes you sick a little bit more often, I think.
For sure. I
so
mean,
we
we're
were
not
sick
even
together.
once they start school, we're screwed.
Sick all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a fun weekend being sick together, me and my little girl. So that's what I've been dealing with. So that's my excuse.
I mean, it's not like we can record if you're sick, so that makes sense.
Sure. Thanks for being so nice and understanding about it.
Well, I feel like the first week we were going to record, I don't remember what happened, but like for my thing that made me anxious or afraid, that was the week that I threw my back out. So
That's
we didn't
right. And we
record.
didn't want you to like sit for a long period of time because
Yeah.
your body is also breaking on you.
Yeah. This is 30, in your 30s.
Approaching mid 30s.
Yeah. And then the next weekend you got really sick. So it's just been a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, I threw my back out. I've done it before, but this has now been a month and it's still not better. And I'm not sure.
I'm scared this is the new normal, like at least it takes this long now for things to
Right.
recover instead of,
It's never
a
taken
couple weeks.
Yeah, usually like a week and I'm back. I'm great. And it's not like, I mean, at first it was really, really bad. Like Michael had to help me get out of chairs.
Aw.
It was really bad. But now it's just like, it's kind of evened out to like I don't know. It's bad, but it's like I can still move
You also
around.
scare me because you're so good at hiding. You're a cat. You're so good at hiding your pain. And I'm just like, I forget. And I'm just like, you're just acting normal and funny. And you're actually in terrible pain.
I don't like to feel like a burden or like a whiner. So I'm just like, it's fine.
But it's a little extreme when your best friend forgets. That's how good your acting is. I'm blaming you.
I think it's probably because I've had like chronic pain for so long, and people who have chronic pain will probably relate to this.
Yeah.
That you just kind of like
You deal.
you just deal,
accept,
and you're just like, if I was to act like I was in pain all the time, I would be so unfun. No one would want to hang out with me. I wouldn't want to hang out with me. So
up.
you just go, and it's fine. I think I have a doctor's appointment this week. So I'm really hoping that they will help me out. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what's going on with me.
It's also Virgo season. Actually, we're like currently in it.
Oh
and
my
so
God.
like I'm kind of nervous to have my birthday. Like our birthdays are coming up.
I know
And we're old.
Michael's birthday is sneaking up on me. I'm just like,
It happens fast.
it really does.
Yeah.
And I don't think I told you, but one of his good friends just had a baby. So that's another Virgo. into the fold. So
Yes.
congrats, Andrew, who doesn't listen to this podcast, but if he did, he would be
He has a Virgo
blown
baby.
away by this shout out.
Yay, Virgos.
So yeah, new Virgo in the world. Yeah, Virgo season. I'm excited. We're gonna have.
It'll be fun.
It'll be
I mean,
fun.
I always look forward to it, but I'm also just like, wow, birthdays are just like, the numbers are getting up there.
Everyone I know has birthdays in a very specific time frame. Like it's either in June, like April, May, June, or it's September, because I have you, I have Michael, I have my sister Hannah.
Oh, all in September. Yeah.
All in September.
That's true.
So y'all trying to make me stress out.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It'll be good. What else? Oh, we do have a correction.
Oh, yeah, real quick.
So I don't think anyone probably heard it, because does anyone really listen to the end all the way? If
Or
you
the credits,
if you're
or
one of the real ones and you listen all the way to the end, we do our credits or
Like
whatever.
gold stars to you.
Yeah.
Sometimes I put stuff down there at the end, so it might be worth your time to listen all the way through.
That's true. Sometimes Michael puts a
A
little,
little
Easter
fun
eggs
clip. Yeah.
at the end, but we usually we'll tell our sources like that we got all the information from our episode, and also credit who did our music, which it's been Matt Edwards for a very long time, but he recently got married. Congrats, Matt.
Hello. Yes.
Changed
Congrats.
his name.
He
and
did.
So he's actually Matt Edon now.
Congratulations.
And I said Matt Edwards last week.
So we are now going to switch that to be correct.
Yeah.
Legal and all that.
Legal.
Official.
Congrats on your marriage. They did a fun thing. Like they did something I hadn't heard people do before, where instead of taking one or the other's last name or keeping your last name, they combined their last names and
Oh,
made
yeah,
a new
that's
one.
cool. That is
Yeah.
new.
So it went from Edwards to Eden, because I don't remember her last name, but it's very cool.
I like it.
Yeah.
Congrats to them, newlyweds.
All these people getting married, having babies.
Man, life is just trucking along.
I know.
all of us living it.
Living it, doing it. Do we have any other shout outs? I feel like I'm missing something.
I think we'll save it for the end.
Save it for the
We do have a shout out at the end, so stick around.
True. I just feel like I'm missing one besides that one. Anyway, I'll figure it out.
Well, you can interrupt me at any time if you want.
Okay. Just in the middle of your story.
Just if you have a random thought, if you need, yeah.
Okay. Do we have anything else? I think that was it. Now you have to do a thing.
Yeah, this is where I'm nervous. I get so nervous. Yeah, here's my episode. I did an episode. This is episode 113. Heyo. I remembered that this time, so
Yeah.
look at me go.
113. Heck yeah.
Yes, and I do recall that my last episode was kind of like such a bummer.
It was quite.
And it was
the
quite
bummer.
difficult for me to do. And
Oh,
this
yeah.
one was for me too. However, I switched on the fun mode. I think this is going to be a fun
Ooh.
episode. This is a fun story that we have here.
Okay, so I'm not going to feel sad and depressed about the state of the world.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'd say so.
I'm in for it.
Cool. So I'm switching things up that way. I had this on my list for a long time, but for some reason I had in my brain, Abby's going to do this episode. And I was just like, I'm not going to do it because it just seems like her vibe.
Ooh.
And I gave you a long time, but I also never did it. So I guess I just left it on my list. And I just thought now it was time to do it. So if this was on your list, I'm sorry.
I don't care. I'm excited, whatever it is. Because my next episode that I'm already working on is not anything you would pick, so it's fine.
Okay, great. Cool. So I wonder how fast you're going to recognize this, because this is also with like our like releasing being so wonky. I also think it's kind of like important. I'm trying to do like bigger stories, more recognizable, big stories. So this one's kind of like a doozy. It's a big one,
Oh, okay.
but I'm doing like the Cliff Notes version.
Okay.
Anyways, I'll stop talking and procrastinating the start. Anyways, okay, so it's November 24th,
Oh, okay, we're just going into it.
1971.
1971.
It's the eve before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
A well-dressed man approaches
I know what it is.
the Northwest Orient Airlines counter at Portland International Airport.
Oh my god! All you had to say was a well-dressed man. I don't know why I got it.
I think I got it.
Because everyone should get it.
yeah.
He buys a one-way ticket on flight 305 outbound for Seattle, Washington. Unbeknownst to everyone on board that flight, that man would become the most infamous hijacker in U.S. and FBI history.
Oh my god.
This is the mysterious story of D.B. Cooper.
Yes, bitch. Oh my god. You know what's really funny? I don't think this is on my list.
Really?
Yeah, I think I've just like, I don't know why. It is a great story. I'm really glad you're doing it.
Thank you.
Oh my god, this is gonna be fun.
I know, it's a fun one. And it's like our area.
Yeah,
it's
Pacific
like ours.
Northwest. We get to claim DB Cooper.
We get to claim D.B. Cooper for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, here we are.
Okay. This is like one of the best, biggest mysteries like of our time, really. Like
Yeah.
or the last century.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So the name on the ticket was actually made out to Dan Cooper. So this was later mistaken in like one of the articles, and the journalist got it mixed up with another name and used DB Cooper instead of Dan. And that was the cooler name. So DB Cooper stuck because Dan is too basic, you know?
Oh, so he's not really DB Cooper. Like he could.
Right.
Oh, okay.
It was like on his ticket was Dan Cooper.
Which
I
is
wonder-
also probably not really his name.
Yeah, who knows if that's also even his real name? Who knows?
Okay.
According to eyewitnesses, Cooper was a slender white male in his mid-40s, had short, dark hair and brown eyes. He was wearing a black business suit, a white button-up shirt, a thin black tie, and brown dress shoes. He also carried a dark briefcase.
Slick.
So, I mean, yeah, this is the 70s. So, I mean, nice clothes.
Yeah. This is when you
Everyone
still like
has
dressed
hats.
up to fly.
Yeah, it's also like think about right before Thanksgiving, busy airport.
Yeah.
Like everyone's at the airport flying for holidays.
I don't know why I didn't remember that it was right before Thanksgiving, but yeah, that's a crazy time at the airport.
It's a crazy detail, yeah, that I forget too. But also the 70s, like everyone was kind of dressed nice. But also like I don't know, I love the image of DB Cooper because he's like 007. He's like
Yes.
slick. He's like hot. You know, like
yeah, he's hijacking in a suit.
Everybody's smoking.
why
Yeah.
does that rock our socks?
I
It
don't-
just does.
I don't know, it just does. Very cool. And you always see like him pictured with the sunglasses, so you're just like,
Yes,
cool dude.
he's super slick swag. He has all the swag.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, where was I? Cooper made it to his seat. It was 18E. It was the very back row. And he ended up ordering a bourbon and 7-Up
Okay.
because, you know, swag.
Bourbon and 7-Up, I would not guess that those would go well together, but okay.
Yeah, I guess that was his drink of choice.
Interesting.
Shortly after takeoff, it was around 3 p.m. Cooper decides to unravel his plan and he hands off a note to the flight attendant, assuming it was a lonely man's number, you know, because apparently that happened a lot.
Oh, I bet they got that all the time.
I know, especially the like flight attendants had to be like cute,
Yeah, like the Pan Am
thin,
look.
yeah, hot. Everyone was hot in the,
It was a requirement of the job.
to be hot. Yeah, everyone was hot. Okay. So she just like slipped it in her pocket without looking at it. She's like, okay.
Oh, she didn't even read it. Okay.
No, she's like, thank you. Look at it later. Bye. But
He's
then
like, can
he's
you
like,
read
no.
that?
He's like, he grabs her attention and he quietly says, miss, you better look at that note. I have a bomb.
Ah!
Apparently he just said
You
that.
just said that. She's like, well, fuck the note. You just told me what's up.
She's like, oh, wait a second. I wish it was a number. Okay, so yeah, it was written neatly in felt tip pen, all in caps, which is the correct way to write.
Oh, in block letters? Your thing we get stuck on?
Like a plane hijacker would. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the right way.
Oh, okay. Correct. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. So you guys want me to write my letters like a plane hijacker?
Oh, okay. Is that how we're turning this?
Or a bank robber. I don't know.
Okay, anyways.
Oh, sorry. One more thing. That his drink, you said, was a bourbon and 7-Up?
I think so, yeah.
It's like a 7 and 7.
Oh, is it?
Is that what that is?
That makes
Pretty
sense.
close.
As someone who knows nothing about drinking, I didn't know that. But fun
I
fact.
probably wouldn't like it myself.
No, it sounds gross.
But I'll take the 7-Up.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. So this note read, Miss, I have a bomb in my briefcase. I want you to sit by me. So she reads it and then she keeps her cool, as professional as she is. And she sits down by him.
Okay.
He opens the briefcase and he shows her what looks to be a legit bomb. It is 2 rows of 4 red dynamite sticks with wires that look to be hooked up to a battery. And then he asked her to write down his list of demands.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm like, what is the point of asking her to sit next to him without telling anyone else that he has a bomb? Okay.
Check this out.
Yeah. Look what I got.
Okay, so he demanded $200,000 of, quote, negotiable American currency placed in a knapsack. And in today's money, do you want to guess? Or
He said it was how much? 20?
it was $200,000.
Oh, duh. 20,000. $200,000 in today's money. I'm going to guess. What, like 500,000?
No, 1.5 million.
Oh, shit.
I know that's a lot.
Okay, inflation.
Inflation is here.
1.5 million?
Yeah,
Dang,
in today's money.
That's a good chunk of change.
Yes, how times have changed.
Yes.
Also, I point out like the negotiable American currency because that seems weird for an American to say, but who knows if that's also a way to throw people off him. But that's also noted, like, is he foreign because he's asking for money that way?
Negotiable currency.
American currency.
American currency. That is a weird
Or
way
maybe he's just really, like, he likes using smart words.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think, like, they give him, like, I don't know, that much in, like, another, or I don't know,
Like
a check?
euros or-
I don't know.
In a check.
Here's a check.
I want a check.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird way to ask for it. But yeah, you're probably right. He's probably trying to throw him off the
Yeah.
scent.
So yeah, it's one of those things that people question, like, why did he ask for it like that?
Yeah. I mean, well, I guess he could have put on an accent, but like, wouldn't the flight attendant have heard if he had an accent?
Right. I mentioned he doesn't have an accent.
Okay.
For later, I mentioned it later.
Okay.
He also asked for 4 parachutes. He wanted 2 front chutes and 2 back chutes. People also question if this is a genius move on his part for this, because this would make people assume that he would be taking like hostages, or somebody else would also be flying off the plane or whatever. But it's like his way of also not having the parachutes manipulated, because obviously if he asked for one, why wouldn't they, like,
Poke a hole in it.
poke a hole in it? Yeah. So is that a genius move? Who knows? But yeah, he did ask for 4 parachutes.
Okay. Good thinking ahead.
Sure. Then he had more demands when they had officially landed in Seattle. Fuel trucks were to meet with the airplane to refuel, and he stated that he would let all the passengers off the aircraft only once he had the money in his hands.
Okay.
The president of Northwest Orient Airlines ordered all of his employees to follow Cooper's demands.
Okay.
And he was also able to authorize the payment for the ransom money he was asking for.
Oh, the airline fronted the money?
He conducted the, like, getting it.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I wonder who provides the money.
I'll tell you.
Oh, okay. And like those situations, you're like, because like with like kidnaps
Like,
and
where do you get
hostages,
it?
it's like the person's family usually that has to come up with the money.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also, this is how there was hijackings during this time, unfortunately. And that's kind of how they handled it, was to just like always listen to the hijacker and give him what he wanted, because they wanted to save everyone, obviously.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was kind of, I guess, the norm to like, okay, just listen to this guy until it's over, I guess. So that happened. There's all of this back and forth communication during this first flight with Cooper, the attendants, because he's not talking to the pilots directly.
Okay.
The pilots are talking to air traffic control, who's also in communication with local police and FBI. So this flight would normally be like a 30, maybe 40-minute flight, and it turned into a 2.5-hour flight.
Wait. They were in the air for 2.5 hours? Just like,
Yes.
Where were they going?
Because
Just, like, circling?
they were circling.
Oh,
and
okay.
during like all of the negotiating, because
Wow.
because they didn't want to land, also bomb.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you know, did they tell the passengers at all, or they were all clueless?
You're right. Yes. Okay. So the plane, hold on. So the plane finally landed at 5:46 p.m. at Seattle International Airport. So yeah, and also I forget the detail that this happened. Like this first initial part of it happened in broad daylight.
Yeah, that's
Like
so
yeah, it's
wild.
winter, but it's still daylight. It's now just getting dark. Once they land in Seattle, so
this
that's
whole
just
plan is so brazen. Like,
yes, it is very brazen.
it's so wild.
Okay, so the $200,000 was collected from Seattle First National Bank, and they brought it to him in a bag, all in 20s.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if that was just like a tactic on their part to like have it be more money to weigh more, because why wouldn't they give it all in hundreds?
Yeah, because he didn't specify in the note. Like,
I don't think so.
okay.
But I guess that's just a fun detail that all of the money was all in $20 bills.
Wow.
So the bag of money actually weighed a total of 19 pounds.
Wow. Okay.
Nearly
That's
20 pounds of
okay.
money.
That's
Cash.
pretty. I mean, it's not super heavy, but dang, that's a lot. Of
If he's planning
20s.
to jump
It's a
out of the
parachute.
plane, yeah, that's extra weight. So I
Yeah.
wonder if I don't if that was a tactic on their part, but fun facts. Oh, the FBI also made sure to take photographs of every single bill and noted all of the serial numbers that were listed on the bills.
Okay.
So they had record of the exact money that he had.
Okay.
Cooper kept his promise, and all the passengers were released once he was handed over the money. All the passengers at the time had no clue what was happening.
Okay. So they had no idea. Wow.
The pilots just kept telling them over the intercom that they had to keep circling around due to minor mechanical difficulties.
I mean, that's pretty believable. Like, if you're a passenger, that kind of stuff happens all the time.
Sure, I wouldn't question the
Yeah.
pilots. I would totally believe that.
I'd be so gullible.
I would just be like,
okay.
yeah, people were bored and bummed that like it was supposed to be 30-minute ride and now it's 2.5 hours.
Yeah, that would be, that would be a bummer.
It's a bummer.
It's supposed to be a quick flight.
Right.
Now I'm missing my other flight.
Yeah. So that's what they kept telling them. So that's crazy.
I mean, I guess that's probably the right thing to do. 'Cause
Yeah, it's not to alarm anybody.
panic everyone stuck on a plane.
Right. And I don't think it was like a full flight. It was like maybe like 30-40-ish people, I think. But still,
Yeah.
those are just regular people.
Oh my god.
Okay. Once everyone was off the plane, the only people left to stay with Cooper were the two pilots, the engineer, and one of the flight attendants. Then Cooper laid out a new flight plan. Cooper wanted to head to Mexico City, apparently. And it was agreed upon that they would have to make another refueling stop at Reno International Airport.
Right.
And this was because it was demanded by Cooper that the plane be flown at a minimum airspeed without stalling it. So as slow as possible, which
Oh.
is about 100 knots or 115 miles an hour.
Okay, so he's got like plane knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
He also says that they have to keep the maximum altitude at 10,000 feet or 3,000 meters.
Okay, because for jumping.
That's what it's leading to. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, because you wouldn't want to go too fast and you wouldn't want to be too high.
But obviously, like, he knew the mathematics of that.
Or did he? Because he wants to go that slow, but he didn't calculate that they would have to refuel. Or did he? Or they were telling him like, "Oh, that's not gonna work."
I think he agreed that Reno was fine.
Okay.
Because it would take more fuel to drive but to pilot the plane so slowly.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's the amount of planning that goes.
Yeah.
It's just something
I want to
like
know how long he thought about this plan.
It had to have been a while. It was,
Definitely calculated.
and just to get the balls to do it.
The balls. Okay, so it's now at this point when they're all ready to get back in the air. It's 7:40 p.m.
Okay.
And I figure we'll take a break at this point.
Okay.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Thanks. Okay, so I left off right when they get back into the air again.
Okay.
So it's 7:40 p.m. It is officially dark. So shortly after takeoff, Cooper wanted the flight attendant to help him lower the very back staircase. But she expressed that she was too scared of being sucked out of the plane. I would
Fair.
be too. So Cooper was actually nice and then ordered her to go stay in the cockpit then, and that he would do it himself.
Okay. It's also November. It's fucking cold.
10,000 feet up in the air, going 100 miles an hour.
I mean, it's
Over.
cold anyway up that high up, but
Dead of winter.
I mean, I guess he wants. Never mind. I'm gonna stop talking. But yeah, it's gonna be cold.
It's cold, and it's true. Like I already described what he's wearing. I mean, it's not really suited to be
Suited.
pun. Didn't mean to.
And he doesn't change, right? Like
No.
that's what he wears going out.
Yeah, it's his suit and his coat and his dress shoes. Like
That is such a weird decision. Mm-hmm. What a weird decision.
if it was so planned out, some parts of it feel like it wasn't. You know.
Yeah, like why wouldn't you either bring clothes to change into that would be suitable for jumping out of a plane?
Especially
I said suitable.
look at you. Yeah, especially if it's like, yeah, they're in Washington and there's like tons of forests and like
You think you
what's
want
the
boots?
end game? Yeah.
Something that you're not going to break an ankle when you land. Mm-hmm. Interesting choice.
Yes.
Okay.
So he decides she can be in the cockpit safely and he's going to lower the stairs himself. This is the very back side. It's kind of like where you picture like the private parts of the plane would be. That the stairs come out there.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so before closing her
Private parts of the plane.
I know. I mean, come on. It's where it is.
The undercarriage.
It's where its private bits would be. Okay. So before closing herself inside the cockpit, she saw him put on the parachutes just like he knew exactly how to put them on. He didn't struggle.
Okay.
So familiar with the parachutes. Because if you didn't know how to put one on, you would not know how to put one on.
Yeah, and then die.
Yes.
Because I mean, yeah, he's got to have some kind of training with parachutes. Mm-hmm. In order to just be so comfortable to jump by yourself, you'd have to do it several times or be certified or like.
Yeah, at least done it before. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
He did cut open one of the, like a third parachute, in order to stash the money, in a better place and strap it onto himself better. So he transferred the money out of the bag into the other bag. And she is the last official person to ever see D.B. Cooper.
Wow. Also, I can't help but think about that movie Without a Paddle.
I know. I remember seeing that in the theaters.
Oh my God, we're old.
But I remember also that like little side note of D.B. Cooper in that movie.
Yeah, there's a whole D.B. I mean, that's like the center
movie,
plot line.
I guess it is the center plot line, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen that movie.
And they like find him in the end, but like all the money is still in the parachute. I think in the movie.
That's right. I love that movie. That was a great movie when it came out.
It was. If you rewatch it, it doesn't really age well. It's that comedy that was like
time.
So funny during that time, and then you rewatch it now, you're like, ooh, I don't know about some of these jokes.
Ooh, some jokes.
Some of them are still funny though. I rewatched it recently, and I was like,
really? It was also, I mean, obviously D.B. Cooper is referenced in tons of stuff. It was also in Loki. When I was watching that show, it also played like it was a clip of him as D.B. Cooper, and I'm like, I love this answer. Like, of course it's Loki. Like,
and the suit, it all fits.
Yeah, he looked the part. Delicious. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's in a lot of pop culture. There's
for sure.
Tons of references.
Yeah, it's a big thing. Yeah, wild. Okay, so it's around 8 p.m. and that's when a light in the cockpit started flashing, indicating that the back stairs were deployed. The pilot then used the intercom to ask Cooper if he needed any assistance, and he simply replied with a stern no. And that was the last thing they ever heard him say.
Wow, that's a polite offer.
I know.
Do you need help getting the fuck off this plane?
Right. So it was a few minutes later, and it was approximately 8:13 p.m., and that's when the crew felt the tail of the plane pitch upward as if he jumped off the stairs.
Oh, they could feel it?
They could feel it.
Weird.
So the pilot did note that at that moment, they were flying somewhere right over the north of Portland.
Okay. I was trying to think like, wait, he wants to go to Mexico, but he doesn't go that far.
I know. I mean, yeah.
Maybe it's a ruse, like to get them to.
Yeah, sure. Refuel in Reno.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he don't care. He's like, I'll be out anyways.
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
So again, something I never think about in this story, the crew still had to fly for over 2 hours to reach Reno International Airport.
Why did they still go to Reno?
Well, they're still in the air. Like that, I think that's the closest airport. I don't know. I think as like to take their most precaution, they still flew at the lowest altitude and the slowest speed. They weren't 100% sure if he was still on the plane, so they weren't going to risk it. So they just did the plan.
Oh, okay. They didn't go out and check that he was gone.
Right. I even read that like they even checked that once they were reaching Reno International Airport, they used the intercom to be like, "Hey, if you could put the stairs back up, that'd be like nice, so we can land." But then there was no reply, so then they had to actually. I'll mention here.
Okay.
In a second. So yeah, not knowing for sure if he was still on the plane or not. Luckily, they did land safely with no problem, even with the back stairs still deployed, which is wild.
So they didn't even go out and fix it. Okay.
No, like the flight attendant was too scared, like to be sucked out. Because I mean, it was their ears were popping, everything was flying. Like the cabin was wild because the stairs were open and they were flying for 2 hours.
Ooh, just ask Alaska Airlines what that's like.
Excuse me, but yeah.
Oh God. Okay, that's so interesting. Like, because they didn't know if he had the bomb with him still. Is that like the whole thing?
Also, yeah, they weren't sure about that either.
Okay.
So again, yeah, not taking any. Yeah, so that's what they did, which is just wild.
It is.
That was what a long day for these poor pilots.
Right?
Like right before Thanksgiving.
So stressful. Oh man, they earned a drink.
Yeah. So, okay. So there were even 3 fighter jets that were ordered to fly behind the plane while it was flying to Reno. And neither of them saw Cooper jump out of the plane, nor did they detect any deployed parachute on any of their radar.
Weird.
Really weird.
Really weird.
Yes.
I'm just trying to think like why, if they were behind him, why they wouldn't have detected. That's so strange.
I think they were also like to try and keep out of sight of Cooper. Like they didn't want Cooper to know that they were following them.
True. Maybe the range didn't go that far.
It was also really dark. It's also cloud cover.
Yeah.
You know, cloudy. Like I'm sure the point of view isn't the best.
Yeah, true.
So, but this is why this story goes nowhere, unfortunately.
I know,
like everyone knows that nothing
Such a good mystery.
It's wild. Okay. So once it was deemed safe on the ground that there was no Cooper and there was no bomb left on the plane, they started interviewing the eyewitnesses immediately in order to develop the most like accurate, detailed description of what Cooper looked like. They all described him in the same way, that he was roughly maybe 5'10", slender but athletic build, around 180 pounds, mid-40s, short brown hair, slicked back, brown eyes, with olive skin tone, but no accent. There was no distinguishing features on him also. So, I mean, he also kind of also looked like every dude.
Yeah.
Like every white guy.
If you look at the sketches, it's just like the most generic looking.
It is very generic.
Yeah.
Like, especially at that time, just anyone could have dressed that way too.
Yeah. Wait, did he have sunglasses or is that just like a
Yes, I don't.
Mandela effect that I'm having? Like,
No, there's a composite sketch with him wearing sunglasses. I'm not 100% sure if he did.
He must have been wearing
He
them
must
at
have
some
because
point.
he has to be swagger and sly and
Yeah.
probably put them on before he
Interesting.
did something
I
cool.
don't know why. Like when I think of his drawing, because there isn't a mugshot, it's always with sunglasses on.
There is one with sunglasses. You are right. I will
Okay.
post it.
All right. I was like, is
Y'all
this
will
a
see it.
Mandela effect?
No,
Like, am I-
no, you're right.
Okay.
I just nowhere that I like was reading mentioned the sunglasses during. I don't know.
Okay. He had to have them.
He had to have them, and I bet he looked good in them.
Probably looked fucking cool as shit.
Okay. The flight attendant also mentioned that Cooper seemed to be very familiar with the local area of Washington, since he pointed out that that he could see Tacoma while they were flying over it at some point.
Oh, okay.
So, odd details. also describing him as not nervous at all because he's too cool.
So cool.
But actually rather nice and not nasty.
I think that's another reason why everyone loves
Likes
DB
him.
Cooper so much, because
He didn't really hurt
anyone.
Yeah, he didn't hurt anybody. Nobody died. Nobody was, I mean, they're obviously probably traumatized. Sure.
Of course. But like, he didn't like physically injure anyone.
No.
He wasn't like rough with.
He's the
any of the staff.
anti-hero. Yeah.
Yeah. We were
He
just
becomes
kind
an anti-hero.
of, everyone
Yeah.
kind of roots for him. Like, oh, I hope he got away with
Stick
the
it
money.
to the man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, hope nobody finds him.
Yeah. Like, who did he hurt? Like,
Yeah.
whoever gave that
Hope
money
he lived his
up,
best
but-
life.
Right.
Yeah, that's the vibe currently for sure. Oh, okay. At some point, the flight attendant also asked him, "Why did you choose Northwest Orient Airlines? Like, do you have a grudge against us?" And apparently, he laughed and shrugged, and he was like, "He said, apparently, this is what he said, quote." "It's not because I have a grudge against your airlines. I just have a grudge."
Oh. Just have a grudge. Intriguing.
I know. I love it.
Against who?
The FBI also started running flight tests. They recreated this same flight over and over, involving the same variables like the altitude and speed. That occurred during Cooper's flight.
The second flight where he jumped?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. Thank you for specifying.
Yes.
This was how they tried to pinpoint the drop zone area. They conducted like a huge search, obviously, but nothing was found. And then they also waited to search again in the springtime when things were thawed out, whatever. Also, still nothing. FBI even released all the serial numbers to the big financial institutions, casinos, and racetracks, just in case the ransom money were to ever get used in those areas.
Sure.
Obviously, nothing has come from that either, which is crazy.
So crazy.
Because you would think that if he did survive, he would have spent the money, but maybe then he knew that they had that, so he was like, you know what, I just rather be the coolest mystery of all time and never spend this money.
Which is like, well, what was the point?
Right.
Other than just like
Being the cool-
biggest act of defiance and like
The biggest act of defiance is right. Yeah.
being like known as like the coolest hijacker ever. But
Yeah.
you'd think, oh well, he got the money, so obviously he wants it. I don't know. It's weird.
It's very
strange.
weird. Yeah.
Or like even if he traded it, like then you would think that the person who received it would have spent it. It's just very
Sure. Like it
strange.
would somehow pop out
Yeah.
into the world
somehow,
especially even after all this time, you'd think somebody would get their hands on it.
I mean, now it would be very obvious and out
Yeah,
of place
true.
because the money would look so wildly different from our money today. But
Yeah.
it's weird.
So evidence picked up from the plane were 66 total fingerprints. Cooper's black clip-on tie. So unfortunately, it's a clip-on tie.
Points deducted.
Not as hot, Cooper. And it also had a pearl tie clip to it.
Okay.
They also found 2 hairs, one from his head, one from his arm, along with 8 filter tip cigarette butts that were in the armrest ashtray because, you smoked on the planes then. and-
Yeah. Okay. Wild.
I know.
Let's just start tiny fires all over a plane. Super smart.
Yeah. They also found the 2 unused parachutes.
Okay.
The hair from his arm was deemed unusable, but they saved the one head hair on a piece of slide to hopefully save it for future testing.
Sure.
However, you know how this goes. Later, when they wanted to test it, they tried to look for it, and it was nowhere to be found.
Really?
And so
It just got lost?
they have, no hair.
Okay, I would have been fine if they were like, it's just too old and damaged.
Sure.
We can't use it. But losing it makes me so mad.
Yeah, and you're gonna be even more mad.
Uh,
Then the FBI tested 4 fingerprints on all of the 8 cigarette butts, but when there were none found on them, actually kind of worse in a way, they decided to send it back to the Las Vegas police. I don't know why, because
it's a
you're
federal
FBI
case.
and you keep you're the FBI. You keep all that shit.
Yeah, if it's a federal case, why would you send it to the police?
Literally put his mouth on those cigarette butts. Like, that could be like literally the smoking gun. But
so what happened with it at the police? Did they lose it?
they're blaming it on the Vegas police because then they wanted to test them out again, and the Vegas police couldn't find it, and it's currently nowhere to be found. None of the 8 cigarette butts are currently anywhere to be found.
Happening?
Because that could literally have solved it.
Oh my God, this literally could have been solved. This literally could have been solved.
It's kind of a little infuriating.
That they just lost it. Like, it's not just like a regular case.
This is the biggest case of all time.
Oh my God. Oh, that is infuriating.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm mad about that.
They found out that the clip-on tie is a discontinued tie that was purchased from JCPenney.
Okay.
The FBI also tried to create a partial DNA profile from the tie, but then later on the FBI also concluded that there was no way they could definitively link any DNA to Cooper himself. Don't ask me. I'm just the messenger.
Because maybe other people touched it, or there was too many DNA profiles, maybe.
I think so. Yeah. It's also
also we lost it. So so sorry. It's also disappeared mysteriously.
right. And I think just like being on a plane, there's so many people that go on planes per day on that same plane.
Yeah.
I think that's also the issue with the fingerprints, is that it could have been like literally anyone's fingerprints.
Did you already talk about his drink that he ordered? Like, there was nothing on that?
I don't think it was saved. I don't know. I didn't read anything.
Threw that away.
That was watched before they landed.
Damn it.
And also, before I forget, I don't think I noted it, but I also read that he also took back any notes that he wrote or the attendants wrote before he jumped. I think he asked for it back. He didn't want to. So that's why we don't have the notes, I believe, is that he also took that back. And
probably
obviously he took the
handwriting.
bomb.
He didn't want his handwriting discovered. Maybe.
Yeah. So we don't have those.
Because like back then, you're probably not thinking about, obviously you wouldn't be thinking about DNA because it wasn't a thing yet. So he's probably just thinking about the handwriting.
But still taking precaution to not get caught.
Yeah. But I mean, his fingerprints would be everywhere, you would think. Like,
yeah. Also you're also acting like you don't care because you're cigarettes and drinking and I don't know. Yeah.
It's such a public way to get that much money. Like on a public plane.
In plain sight. Pun intended. I'm proud of that one. I don't care.
Your face. You looked so proud of yourself.
I was like, that's double, triple meaning.
Like,
that's awesome.
Took a pause to really appreciate it.
Good job, me. Okay, sorry.
Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling, but it's such a fun case to speculate on.
It is, yes. Okay. Okay, then this is, I think, also the craziest part of the story because this makes so many more questions. The craziest thing happened then was that some of the ransom money was actually found.
Right. Okay, that's right.
On February 10th, 1980, so 9 years.
9 years.
After the hijack, yes. An 8-year-old boy
Awesome.
had the best day of his life.
Core memory.
He was vacationing with his family on the Columbia River.
I was on a vacation too. Wow, best vacay ever.
Right. They were at a beachfront called the Tina Bar, and he noticed 3 bundles of cash floating in the river, and he snatched them up.
Floating in the river. Okay.
This happened to be found 9 meters or 14 kilometers south of Vancouver, Washington, and 20 meters or 32 kilometers southwest of the Ariel Dam. The estimated drop zone area was first deemed to be between the Ariel Dam and the town of Battleground, Washington. So I guess this is also kind of puzzling to investigators. Or like, it seems kind of like it's slightly off course where they thought he would have dropped. I don't know. What's even weirder too is that later it was deemed that the drop zone area was actually incorrect, and that it was probably further east than what they had previously thought, and that it was that he maybe dropped over the. I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong. I'm sorry, Washington, but Washougal.
Yeah.
That area is where they think he dropped over. The 3 bundles of cash were still wrapped up in rubber bands. They were intact but highly disintegrated from the elements. It was a total of $5,800 all in 20s.
But it's like priceless. Like finding that. Oh wait, but does it just get seized by the government? Like what a bummer. You're like, can you at least like
For the most part, yeah.
Can you just give me the value? Because now you're just taking something from me that I found.
I did also read that the boy that found it, they did let him keep some of the bills. I think they gave him a stash of bills just to keep. And then
wild.
I think he also ended up selling some on eBay
Hell
for
yeah.
money.
Hell
like
yeah.
thousands of dollars. And rightfully so. Like, do it.
I would.
Keep one and
Yeah.
sell the others.
Frame one moldy $20 bill, get rich on the rest of it.
Get rich on the rest of it. I think that's what happened. And also cool of the FBI to do that for
That is so cool. I wouldn't have guessed that they would do that. That's actually really rad.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Okay, so yeah, the FBI did confirm that this was indeed, in fact, part of Cooper's ransom money. It was even in the same order as it was given to him.
Okay.
So it's weird because it seems like it wasn't touched, but then also why was the 200 missing out of the bundle? Because that seems like it had to have been deliberately taken out.
Oh, wait, what did you say? So, it was all in a bundle, but it was short 200?
3 bundles, 5,800. That's 246.
Yes.
Teller days.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Do
so,
numbers, Abby.
So 10 bills are missing.
10 20s are missing.
But the rest of it is still in order.
Right. Wrapped up in a rubber band.
Does it say which, was it like taken off the top of the stack or something?
I don't know. I think that's what's puzzling about it is it seems like that was deliberately taken out, but it was also in the same order. Why?
Right. So if it was in order, then they would know which ones were missing, like if it was taken off the top or not. That was just interesting. Because like if it's taken off the top, then you would assume like, oh, maybe he took those deliberately.
Yeah.
Other than they fell out.
The condition of the bills suggests they
yeah.
could have been soaking for a while.
Yeah.
It's also a mystery.
I love these so much.
Yep. Okay. Oh yeah, this small portion of the money is the only physical evidence that was ever found outside of the aircraft. It's literally all we've ever found of DB Cooper.
So crazy.
In 2009, a group of citizen sleuths.
Citizen sleuths. Okay.
They started, or they already had a group called the Cooper Research Team. Mm-hmm. And they were able to somehow get access, don't ask me, but they got access to the clip-on tie.
Oh.
And their mission was to study it with the newest tech at the time. And so they reviewed it under an electron microscope, and they found particles of, also forgive me, this is chemical science, titanium, bismuth, strontium sulfide, and aluminum.
Sure.
Chemicals, y'all. There were chemicals.
Compounds.
These are metals and rare earth particles that are typically found in fields of aeronautical engineering, a chemical plant, or a metal fabrication facility. So
It had to have been the first one, right? He has to have flown before or like have knowledge of aircrafts.
So one of the big theories, which I think is really compelling, is that DB Cooper could have been a possible Boeing employee. Which, hello, Boeing. You're in hot water again. Yeah.
They've been up to no good for so long.
They need to get their act together.
You just let DB Cooper out. Like, that was you guys.
Yeah. Also, with all of his knowledge of like the plane, like the actual like 727 craft that he was on, and that the variables that, you know, he was educated on that. So it's very possible he was like an employee, a Boeing employee.
You said it was an what was the name of it again?
Aeronautical engineering, which would be making planes.
Making planes.
In layman's terms, yes.
Wow. Okay.
I think that's kind of...
That's pretty compelling.
It's compelling to me.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Investigators also speculate that one of the reasons why they were never able to find any further physical evidence was because it could have been all destroyed in the 1980 Mount St. Helens eruption.
Fucking no way.
Which you covered in episode 83.
Yeah, I did. That's honestly still one of my favorite episodes I've done.
Great episode. I just have chills thinking about it.
Fascinated by Mount St. Helens.
But also that makes sense because it destroyed everything. So
really
what if it just destroyed, if DB Cooper was out there dead or all the money? Like, it makes sense that that's why you're not seeing it anywhere.
What if he stashed it and then it all just got blown away by the eruption, and then like maybe somehow some of it made it out and got into the river or something? And
true. Also, yeah, the money is what the money found keeps making me angry and confused because I'm like, what the hell? Because you can't take away the fact that it's from his actual ransom money.
yeah.
So what the hell, man? Like, what the heck happened?
I know. I want to talk so many theories, but I'm trying.
I'm also
going to
make the money a little bit even more confusing in a second. I have a couple more bullets for you.
Okay.
Okay, crazy. In 2016, FBI announced that they were officially suspending their investigation on DB Cooper.
Suspending it. Okay.
They
So it had been open that whole time?
Yes.
Wow.
They wanted to put their resources on other cases at this point. But if there's any new evidence that happens to pop up, they're going to be interested in that.
Of course.
But yeah, they officially ended their 45-year search.
It's okay, DB. You can come out now. We're done looking.
Crazy.
Wow.
Also, if DB Cooper happened to get away and survive and live his best life, he would be in his 90s right now.
Okay.
If he's still trekking along. Just wild.
In his 90s. Wow.
Which even if he did survive, I don't think he'd live to his 90s. But it's just wild to think about all the possibilities.
Yeah. So wild.
In 2020, so this is where it gets, I hate the money. Analysis was performed on the ransom money. And I think you pronounce it diatoms, or it's a type of algae.
Okay.
Diatoms.
Diatoms. Thank you, Michael. Okay, so diatoms.
Michael's voice was so raspy just now. You sounded like Batman. Diatoms.
Okay, so yes, some of those were found on the ransom money, but only diatoms that were bloomed in the springtime. So this makes it where it means that the money was not submerged or buried dry at the time of the hijacking, since that was in winter.
Right, in November.
So it makes you think, did somebody place it there? I don't know, but it makes it way more confusing.
Yeah, because like, what? So this So the hijacking happened in what year, and Mount St. Helens happened in what year? Do we know? Like,
oh yeah, so the hijacking happened in 1971, and Mount St. Helens was 1980. It was they found the ransom money like a few months before the eruption happened, I believe.
Oh, they found it before the eruption?
I'm pretty sure the eruption was more like in July or something.
Then why would they think the eruption had anything to do with?
Because the eruption happened and it could have destroyed DB Cooper's body or any more of the money. That's like it.
Oh, okay.
Like it was around that drop zone.
I was thinking that the eruption happened and then they found the money.
No, I think they found the money like a few months before the eruption, and that's why also like they haven't been able to find anything else.
Gotcha,
Volcano was in on it.
Exactly, conspiracy, FBI and volcanoes.
DB Cooper made Mount St. Helens erupt. Okay, we get it.
That's where that $200 went.
You paid off the mountain.
Okay, so I have a couple fun facts, but obviously, like the FBI think DB Cooper didn't really survive the jump, but also they recognize that there was a lot of like copycat hijackings after this fact, or after Cooper, and a lot of them did survive their jumps, and they weren't, parachute, experts.
Right.
So then they were like, well, maybe he did survive, but I mean, like literally, we don't know. Like, what do you think? Like,
I know.
Was somebody else involved? Like, did he survive and then he meet somebody in a car and be like, let's get away? Like, what happened to him.
I know. What happened?
What happened?
Let's solve it right now. Because I feel like it would have had to have been such a guesstimate if he's jumping at night and he's not the one flying the plane. Like, could he have predicted in the, like, when he was planning all of this, exactly where to jump to land in a specific area?
Right.
Or is he guessing?
Right.
He had to have been guessing.
They also
kinda
don't know
guessing.
like how long he was free falling for. Like that also can, I guess,
right before he opened his
change.
chute.
Right. And it was also noted that the chutes that he was wearing weren't steerable. So so he couldn't steer where he was going. He kind of just had to
wherever
go.
the wind blows.
Yeah.
Oh, that's also interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like he died. Like, I don't want that to be the answer, but just the fact that the money never turned up makes me think that he died.
Yeah.
And like maybe he didn't. Maybe he stashed the money. Maybe he landed, got injured from the fall because he's wearing like fucking dress shoes.
Right.
Or he landed in water. Like they thought maybe he landed near a dam. Maybe he drowned. No, they would have found the body if he.
Yeah,
had
that's
drowned.
the thing. There's no body. There's no parachute. There's no any of things that were on him. No clothing. No nothing.
Okay, so back to my original guess. He got injured in the fall. I feel like he would have stashed everything somewhere and then maybe tried to go get help and like died on the way or something. Because why wouldn't you have gone back to get your money? And then
Right.
maybe something happened to where some of the money ended up in the water.
There's also so many deathbed confessions, unfortunately. Like people are on board to get their 5 minutes of fame. And there's
Sure.
been like dozens of, or at least a handful, I don't know, but of deathbed confessions. Some of them really compelling, I think. But yeah, a lot of people have confessed to be DB Cooper, but then for some reason or another, it's proven that they're not. And it's like, what the heck?
What a weird thing to do right before you die. I think I'll do that. I'm going to confess to something really
DB
wild
Cooper.
on my deathbed, and then you guys are just going to have to spend time to figure out if I was lying or not. What a final, like, fuck you to the world. Just be like, hey, I was DB Cooper, by the way.
By the way,
Peace.
you never found me. Out of here.
Later.
I know. My soul wants one of like the deathbed confessions to be true. Like that's what I wish happens just because I love a deathbed
I
confession.
love a deathbed confession.
And how like that would be the coolest one. Like I was DB Cooper. I got away with it. I'm the coolest, man.
Cool. It just doesn't seem like his style. You
I know, right? That's also true. So he probably died.
I just feel like he must have died, which is really unfortunate. But I don't know.
But
why
either
else he
way,
wouldn't have gotten the money.
he's now a legend for all of time.
For all of time.
And he's in everything he's in everything. Okay, quick fun fact so I can wrap this episode up.
Okay.
Okay, so quick fun fact. There's a popular French-written Belgian comic book series whose fictional hero was a test pilot named Dan Cooper. And he would go on heroic adventures, one that had like even a cover of him on the comic book, parachuting out of a plane.
Oh, so it was like...
And this was before, the Cooper hijacking. So another theory is like, did he take this as his inspiration? Like, did he see this if he was out in the army? Like,
Yeah. Wait, where did you say the comic was from?
it was written in
Belgian?
French, but it was a Belgian comic book.
Interesting.
So yeah, it wasn't popular in the U.S. at all.
Yeah, that's weird.
So it would have had if he was inspired by it at all. Maybe it was because he was in the army at some point. Maybe he was a parachutist.
yeah, that was one of my
in
guesses.
The
like,
military
he had
of
to
some
have-
sort or Air Force.
I think it's a reasonable guess to say that he was in the military because, like, then
Yeah.
you would have that training.
Yeah.
If you were in the Air Force, you'd probably have knowledge of planes. But
And parachute. I feel like that would kind of explain knowing how to handle a parachute.
yeah, and he had a grudge. How many people in the military have a
grudges.
grudge against the government? A lot.
Yeah.
Late 70s. Good time for it.
Yeah.
Is that Nam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
See, like if he was in
Ooh.
Vietnam, like
Damn.
he'd have a big grudge, I would feel like. But I don't know how that would be connected to French or
It's just kind of like to top it off, there's like a random comic book that is like this
Yeah.
very scenario that played out.
I think
weird.
there's a lot of French influence in Vietnam.
Is there?
that
Ooh.
region.
Ooh, that's interesting. That would be
Interesting.
an interesting angle.
Yeah.
Let's say that's what happened.
There's also an annual convention known as CooperCon.
Oh, fun.
And it's held in Seattle every November. So that would be kind of fun.
That would be
to go
fun.
to. And yeah, DB Cooper is considered to be the only unsolved hijacking in aviation history, and the end, y'all. That's all I have. I can't go through like suspects. That was a whole nother can of worms. Watch the documentaries that I'll list in my credits, but
There's a million documentaries.
Yeah, there's so much information on this too, but that freaking happened, and this dude freaking happened.
Yay! Thank you for doing that one. That's such a good, fun story.
Thank you.
It is a fun one. No one gets hurt. It's a fun story. Yeah. You don't have to feel bad.
I needed a 180 from my last episode, so I thought this was the right choice.
It was a really good choice.
Thank you.
Love the story of DB Cooper. This makes me want to go watch all the documentaries.
Yeah, there's two. They're really good. I was like, oh, is it that guy? It has to be that guy. And then they're like, oh no, it's not that guy.
Right.
But, and there's even one that was like technically went through transgender surgery as a suspect. So what if DB Cooper was a woman?
Oh,
that's also, I can believe that because women are badass and smart. And that would be the craziest turn of events.
That would be a
nobody's
wild
really
twist.
Yeah. There's lots of suspects. I think there was like over 8,000 that they questioned. There was a lot of copycats. I'm sorry I didn't go into that part of it, but man.
I mean, the thing with I thinking it was a former Boeing employee, that stuff is checkable. You could look at former employees. If you have access to that information, I feel like that wouldn't.
But it's also Boeing, so they don't keep records of their mishaps.
They have to.
Nah, they
well,
fucked
not
up
their
somehow.
mishaps, but they would have record of employees.
You would think, honestly, yeah, but it's the 70s too. I don't know.
True.
Different world, literally.
It was so different. And if it was a military person, they would be on record, but there's so many people in the military, so how do you narrow that down? I don't know, man. That's a wild mystery. What do you think, Michael?
Volcano was in on it.
Exactly, that's right. I forgot.
And he's definitely dead.
Okay.
Well, definitely, yeah. We can say safely. He's probably dead at this point.
Very most likely dead. And didn't spend any of his money, apparently, if he did live.
But it's so funny. Yeah, he is the anti-hero. I feel like this is the one mystery people kind of don't want solved because it's too fun.
Right.
There's too many possibilities. His lore is too, CooperCon. Yeah.
He's on all of the cryptid t-shirts and stuff. He's always in there.
Everyone's rooting for him to just be, hope he... I mean, even if he did die, I guess he still kind of got away with it. He still won.
He did. Either way, he got away with it.
Wow.
He successfully got $200,000
and jumped out of a plane while looking probably really hot.
Really fucking cool. Man.
Wild.
So
the balls.
wild.
You're
The
right.
balls.
Okay, the balls. Okay.
Oh, I'm glad you did that. I love a mystery. It's like that. The Alcatraz was reminding me of that Alcatraz episode that you did.
Oh, thank you.
That's another fun mystery.
Yes.
Okay.
What do we got to do?
City of the week.
Let's shout out the week. City of the week. Sorry.
And this week it's Bristol, England.
Woo woo.
England.
Hey.
Motherland, how are you doing? Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you for supporting us colonists.
Appreciate you.
Thanks for listening. Keep it coming. We love it. I love when places that are international are top listeners.
Wild
it
to
just
me.
freaks me out in the best way.
Yeah.
So cool. Oh, shout outs. And I just remembered the one I forgot that I was going to do.
Oh, you did? Okay. What?
Well, actually, two, because we did get a review. I don't remember the name on it, but I think they were a local person. So thanks for listening and leaving a review. We love it. Please leave a review if you haven't and you like what you hear. The other one was we got that email from B. So thank you, B.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. And then the last one, we have a new listener named Kylie.
Kylie, what's up?
I think They are probably in the very early episodes, so who knows when they're going to hear this. But here's your shout out.
True. It's coming to you.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Surprise! And they also gave us on Facebook, they're talking about a story. They had a Men in Black experience.
Ooh.
Which is, I've always wanted to do a Men in Black episode. It's really intimidating to me though, but
I
I
can
really
see that.
I really want to because it's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
And I think it's intimidating because of the volume of information
Sure.
and stories out there.
Right. So like, where do you start?
Where
What
do
do
you
you
start?
include? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. But I remember the book I read for Mothman has a bunch of Men in Black encounters, and
That's
it's just like the
cool.
eeriest stuff. And I need to just get my shit together and do an episode someday. But okay, so I asked if I could read this, and they said yes.
Okay, please do. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to see this, so I'm very excited to hear this.
Okay, so we were on a family vacation out in BFE, South Dakota. We stopped at a little diner or store for snacks and whatnot. As we were getting ready to leave, I noticed a black car pull in that had all blacked out windows. All 4 doors opened at the same time, and 4 men stepped out at the same time. All wore black shoes, pants, trench coats, and hats that resembled that shape of highway patrolmen. They closed their doors at the same time and walked by twos into the building. So like 2 by 2.
Very organized. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very in sync.
I remember this because it was so bizarre and out of place from BFE Dusty.
It's not
nowhere.
natural.
And also in the middle of nowhere to see that. Like, that'd be so weird.
It's eerie.
Let me see if they said anything else. Oh, and she said, of course, you can share. I never saw their faces. I may recall sunglasses of some kind, but it was also mechanical the way they moved.
Interesting. Wow. That's crazy.
It would be really weird to see that in the middle of nowhere. And all doors open at the same exact time, and they march in 2 by 2. Like, ooh.
Yeah, that gives me chills. That's weird. Something's up.
The mechanical movement, too, is something that I think is common in, like, Men in Black stories, are like weird jerky movements, like just unnatural movements.
Are they aliens themselves? Is that what the movie?
One of the wild theories about Men in Black is like, are they aliens? Are they government officials who specifically take care of alien stuff? But like,
or the aliens kind of like, actually, let's be human for a second and
that's another
fix our mistake and make them just shut up.
That's another theory. Is that
I never even thought about that.
Yeah, that they're parading around as human, but they're not human.
Ew.
Which is why they don't act superhuman, but they look enough like a human to kind of get by.
I'm very upset.
I have read so many
wild.
Men in Black stories, and they're so creepy.
That's so funny. You should do one because I don't get into reading about that. Like I just haven't.
You like all the UFO stuff, but
it's true.
Yeah,
but I just haven't deep dive into that area.
Yeah, I think the theory that they're aliens parading as government officials is my favorite one, because I think there's also stories where like people have called to try and check up on these people, and they're like, we don't have any record of who you're talking about.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's freaky.
Or is it the government pretending they don't know?
Everyone is literally in on it.
Watch your back.
Wow.
They're all out to get us.
Volcanoes.
Mount St. Helens was so in on it. She's such a bitch.
Okay. Wow. What a story.
Yeah. So
thank you for that.
That's that. Thanks, Kylie. I love that kind of stuff. If anyone else has stories,
yeah, that's juicy.
Always share. We love it. And we'll probably read it on the show, and then you can feel really cool. I don't think I have anything else.
Nah, let's go.
We got stuff to do. You guys have stuff to do, I'm sure. So I'm going to say good up
and good night. All right, my credits are FBI.gov, Wikipedia.com, DB Cooper, Where Are You on Netflix, and The Mystery of DB Cooper on HBO. The music is by Broke for Free and Matt Edon, and were edited by Michael.
All right, you guys, you know the drill. All right, Anxious and Afraid of the Pod is our handle for both our Facebook page and the group, along with our Instagram and Gmail. We're also on Twitter at AAThePod. You can support us at patreon.com/Anxious and Afraid. You get some cool perks, ad-free episodes. You get a release a day early. You get a sticker. You get a shout out.
We also have some cute, fun merch if you're interested in that. I always recommend buying a size up in men's. And you can find all of that listed in our episode notes and our website, which is really cute. And that's anxiousandafraid.com. Check it out.
You can also support us for free by leaving a rate and review. And please subscribe and tell your friends.